Celtics win 100-89. The producers on the mic tonight. This is the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celticsblog. To the Garden Report, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Weiss from CLNS Radio. With me for the first time in front of the camera, the man that's always behind the camera, Lucas Parolin, CLNS Radio, video coordinator for the Celtics locker room coverage and producer of the Garden Report and 3 at the Buzzer. We're going to do a quick abridged version of the Garden Report tonight because we're down a couple guys, got a couple guys on the DL tonight. And it is, of course, a Bobcats game. So not a ton of people were showing up anyway. But we're going to quickly take a look at the triple-double for Rajon Rondo tonight. Yet another triple-double.
Number 26.
26 on the season. I want to let you get that one in because you haven't even talked yet.
There you go.
But so Rondo 26 on his career. On the season. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Third on the season. We'll take a look at boxing out, a little bit of Avery, a little bit of Rondo, and then we'll ball up a little bit of Avery, a little bit of Rondo. But first, let's hear from Rondo talking about his triple-double, talking about leadership on this team.
Rajon, who has been the most vocal leader when you talk about you guys getting your swag back?
Besides myself?
Can you correct yourself or anybody you'd like to mention?
I don't know. Keon Doolin's actually helped. He's been in the locker room, helping guys up. His personality. I think it started with him. I just try to play a little bit, play my songs on here. The song I haven't let you guys listen to them yet, but a couple of my tracks I'm playing here to get these guys going before the game.
Yeah, we don't like Justin Bieber.
You know, my track, my songs.
Yeah, no, yours. That's yours.
I'm on the track.
Yeah.
So Rondo with a big triple-double tonight. He had 17 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. He was on track really early for a triple-double, kind of plateaued for a little bit, and then he really picked up in the fourth quarter.
Well, Jared, it's nice to see Rondo finally being the Rondo that we saw early in the season. He had the streak going, we remember, and then he didn't have it anymore after he was thrown out at the New Jersey game. And we haven't been needing Rondo that much lately. The bench has been really picking it up for us. But it's great to see an all-star caliber point guard playing to his level, really.
And I mean, what was big about him was that I was talking to Gethin Coolball before the game from SB Nation, a friend of the show, saying I'm not really sure if Rondo's a all-star right now. And then, of course, he shut me up with this game.
I think he heard you.
Yeah,
I think
he probably did. Well, before the game, he was talking to Bill Doyle from the Worcester Telegram, and he claimed that Bill jinxed him for the assist streak. Bill, of course, said, "Well, it might have been your fault," kind of decking Chris Humphries. So that was pretty funny, but that clearly worked. And after the game, they kind of talked about it. But so Rondo, there seemed to be a hex on him, Lucas. He hasn't been himself. He hasn't been running around, throwing kind of dart passes, cross-court passes like he usually does. He hasn't been getting underneath the rim and passing out from there. We saw tonight so many drives where he was able to get in the middle of the lane and just whip passes out to the perimeter. Do you think like the hex is lifted off of him right now?
I think so. I think that winning solves everything. So the Celtics they weren't doing very well late last year, and now that they're in this six win streak, I think that he probably feels lighter right now, so he's able to do the things that he knows how to do on the court much easier.
And I mean, the thing that's always come easy to him is just whipping passes as hard as he can, and that's been the difference over the last few games, is that he kind of was a little bit more conservative. He was trying to kind of lollygag through the lane and do little dumb passes, but Rondo's real specialty is throwing kind of cross paint whip passes, whip outs of the corner to guys like Avery. Avery, of course, having a huge night shooting the corner three, but you kind of saw a more natural Rondo rather than kind of a more controlled Rondo tonight.
Absolutely, and if I may also remind you, he didn't only have some nice passes to Avery Bradley, he had a lot of nice passes to Courtney Lee today. Yeah. I mean, the Rondo-Lee connection was on today. Yeah. I think Lee probably gave him a hug after the game because I don't think Lee has had that many easy shots all season.
Yeah. So. No. And that's the thing is Courtney, let's quickly touch on him. Yeah, he was a guy that kind of seemed lost for so long. Fans wanted to get rid of him, and he's been kind of floated in trade talks, but the last few games, especially since Avery came back, he's been kind of the Courtney Lee that we expected to see. He's been energetic. He had a block in tonight's game where he hit like eighth gear and took off like a Bugatti Veyron. I mean, just flew.
That counted as a block? I thought it would be maybe a steal.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it was
a nice
It was like
play.
Roadrunner. It looked like Roadrunner. It was like pew, like that. And on Amadapio's side, he definitely seems to have a new level of intensity. And I think what is the difference for him is that he knows his role now. There's a lot of inconsistency in what his role was before, but I think he kind of has figured it out at this point.
Kind of sad that you touched on his role because that's exactly what I was going to talk about. Jimmy Toscano on some other day in the show talked exactly about that Courtney's role was really hard to see before Avery Bradley's return to the team, and I think that now that Avery Bradley came back, Courtney's role is really shown up, really, and he hugged that role. He's really been great in it, and I'm glad for him because now we don't have to trade him, and I personally really like Courtney Lee's game, so I'm glad that happened.
And one thing that's been helping is the Jeff Green shoulder massages. If you go back to CLNS Radio's YouTube page, if you didn't see it earlier, there's an interview of ours where we're talking to Courtney Lee, and then Jeff Green just walks up to him and starts going like this. It's as creepy as it was for Lucas just now.
Feels nice.
It was pretty funny though, so check that out.
If I may also, Jeff Green and Courtney Lee seem to be pretty big friends in this team. Today when Jeff Green was on the, I forget if it was a dunk or if he took a charge, but he was out on the floor, like laid down on the floor, and Courtney Lee came up to like kind of harass him on his face. Yeah. And just really playful. Jeff Green was laughing, so it's great to see that.
It was like this kind of on the ground. Yeah. After a massive flop by Green, by the way, that was a ridiculous flop. He's gonna get. Remember. I think I tweeted, "Light him up, Stu," because you know Stu Jackson's gonna send a fine to him.
We hope not.
A warning at least to start it off, but I'm sure Jeff will get fined at some point this year.
We hope not, but let's not jinx him. Sorry, Jeff.
Hey, you got a pretty good new contract. You can afford it.
Indeed.
All right, so quickly we're gonna box out. Rajon Rondo had a triple-double, so there's a lot of fodder there for boxing out.
Well, I think we touched on so much about Rajon Rondo triple-double right now. But the stat I really want to take a look at is Jason Terry's fourth quarter numbers. He only had 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. We saw my boy Leandro Barbosa playing for a little while. And I think Jason Terry hasn't been on his game lately. We've been expecting him to... We've been expecting...
Understatement of your debut on the Gardner Report. Yeah.
Understatement, yeah. We've been expecting him to fill up Ray Allen's shoes and hit those threes, and he hasn't. And I wish I knew Jason Terry's three-point numbers right now. You probably know from today's game.
Bring it up really quickly. From today's game, we got 0 for 1. So he only took...
he only took one.
He only took 3 shots on the game in 15 minutes. He didn't hit any of them. But, I mean, we've talked about it the last couple episodes of the Gardner Report. He hasn't been shooting the ball well. It's been bad. I mean, he's in a slump. We got used to it for 5 years because Ray Allen gets in a lot of slumps. And this is what you come to expect with shooting guards. They're going to get in slumps. And, with Terry, the other issue or I think what's kind of hurting him is that they've got a lot of depth at his position, which we always knew, but he's not able to still go out there and take 12 shots and kind of try to break himself out of that funk. He only got 3 shots tonight in 15 minutes because Corney stole a ton of time from him. Leandro got his late fourth quarter run. Doc said after the game that he wanted to bring some energy to the team and change it up a little bit, and that's why he brought Barbosa in over Terry. But on the Mavericks, Terry would have always gotten his chance to take 15 shots and always get his chance to try to shoot himself out of a funk. But with the Celtics, if you get into a funk for a few games, you're going to probably see your minutes reduced for a little while, and it's going to be even harder for you to dig yourself out.
Here's my question. With Avery Bradley getting back his touch now, how is that going to impact Jason Terry's numbers? That's what I want to see in the next few games.
Right. Well, that's my number. Avery Bradley's 4 3-pointers tonight. The guy's been ice cold from deep ever since he came back. Hasn't really been shooting the ball very well anywhere outside of 15 feet, really. And tonight he goes 4 for 7 from deep. Had to double check that one. He's finally hitting a shot. That corner 3 is his go-to shot. And Doc talked about it after the game.
Yeah, I mean, again, he missed a lot of games. And when you miss games, you can play defense when you come back. Everything else is timing, and he's starting to get his timing. And he's getting point-blank looks. They still, in the league, don't think he can shoot. because the shots he's getting are unbelievable. I mean, they're wide open, and it's every night. And we want them to just keep shooting it, and now they're going in.
All right, ball up time. Lucas, who's your baller of the night?
I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to go with the obvious choice. Rajon Rondo had a triple-double. That's all I have to say about that. Rajon Rondo had a triple-double. Lifted the Celtics in the third quarter when they were getting kind of in a funk. Rajon, you're my baller of the night.
All right, well, Rondo's the easy choice. I'm going to add Avery in there just because he deserves an honorable mention. But let's put them together just for my other big stat from the night. Ben Gordon and Kemba Walker were held to 9 for 30 tonight. 9 for 30. Now, I mean, of course, those guys are going to have their bad shooting nights, but to hold both of those guys to pretty terrible shooting numbers, that's incredible defense by Bradley, Lee, and Rondo.
Well, if I may, Doc Rivers touched on it after the game, that with those guys on the court, you never want to hold on to a lead too much. I think he said that a 10-point lead with Ben Gordon on the floor, it's not really a 10-point lead. So to hold those guys to 9 for 30 shooting, it's pretty great, pretty great.
It was a pretty great win. Wednesday, they face the Hornets. For Lucas Parolin, I'm Jared Weiss. This is the Gardner Report on Celticsblog and CLNS Radio.